Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the Dunu Titan S, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank Linsoul for providing the Dunu Titan S for review. Do greatly appreciate it. Linsoul, you rock. Alright, so the Dunu Titan S. This is a $80 IEM on Linsoul. It has an 11mm dynamic driver with an LCP or liquid crystal polymer diaphragm, 32 ohms of impedance, 110 decibels of sensitivity, and a frequency response of 5 Hz to 40 kHz. Comes in a very colorful box and a very simple unboxing. You just slide off the sleeve, remove the top from the black box, and inside it you're going to get a carrying case, your IEMs, a cable, and some tips. So the carrying case is very nice. It says Dunu on the bottom. Mine's blue. I think that's pretty much the standard color that you're going to get. And it's very well built, nice, soft, but yet has a good amount of firmness to it to protect the IEMs. Then it kind of opens up, similar like that. Let's talk about the tips first. You're going to get 3 types of tips. One of them is going to be a more shallow type of olive, and it has a blue stem. It's very soft and flimsy feeling. The stem is a little hard, but overall it just doesn't really do anything for me. I found them to be extremely uncomfortable. I could feel the stem of the IEM in my ears, and they just didn't seal very well. Next up, you have another pair that is black that's a little bit bigger type of olive, a little bit bulbish, and it has a red stem. And this is a lot firmer, and I actually like the red ones quite a bit. I use them quite a lot, but I couldn't quite get the seal. No matter how many different pairs and sizes that I tried, they were either too small or too big, and I just couldn't quite get the proper seal. And then the last set of tips that you're going to get are a larger, more bulbish olive, and these are gray. And I found that these were similar to the red ones. I could use them. They kind of fit, but at the same time it was just a little uncomfortable, and I didn't really get the seal I was looking for. It was just kind of odd. None of them sounded bad. They just didn't seal properly or fit me properly. And I didn't notice any sonic differences between any of them either. It was just the fits were weird. You also get a cable clip if you want to use that. Overall, the unboxing experience, you get plenty of tips and they work. Kind of. All right, so then you get your IEMs and this really, really nice cable that has a problem with it. I like the feel of the cable, I like the look of the cable, but the first problem with it is this weird contraption of cable management. It's like this, I don't know, rubbery, no. You can't take it off unless you cut it. And it just doesn't really work to hold them when you coil the cable. And it kind of, I don't know, it's just weird. All right, so the cable connects with its 2-pin, which is extremely hard, and it conforms to the build of the actual IEM. So when you remove it, which is really tight, by the way, so there's your 2-pin, it snugs right in. It's a very tight fit, but you can see these ear hooks, and they are kind of loose, but they also, if I hold it here, you can see they have a curve to it, and it curves outward. And so when they go on your ear and it wraps around, they'll stay on for a little bit, and then they'll start to jiggle and they'll just pop out. So I find that I have to put them around my glasses and snug it in, and they stay in place. It works better when I do that, when I have my glasses to kind of hook it around and hold them, because when they're not behind my glasses, they just flop around after a couple moments. Like the cable, like the build of it a lot. It's not that ear hook thing, that's strange, and then that kind of how it conforms is unique. All right, I like the build of the IEM. It is a very nice looking design and very unique, kind of a, you know, I don't know, it's just kind of unique, like retro type of look to it. I like the color. It's got a little bit of flat shell on the backside. It's got a really long nozzle and a slight angle. Overall, I just find it to be very well built. I do use the CTM Flexi tip. I'll put a link down below for that tip, as I found that tip seals in my ear better and just kind of holds the IEM in place easier. I did not notice any differences in sonics between the Flexi tips and the stock tips. All that I noticed a difference of was how they fit in my ears, and they held snugly and just worked better for me. Overall, the fit of them is a little finicky with that cable. They isolate outside noises very well. I find that with the Flexi tip in, it's very hard for me to hear what's going on. I would say they probably block out between about 65 to 70, maybe even upwards of 75% of outside noises. These will work in louder settings if you do get a good seal. How do they sound? The Dunu Titan S is a very unique sound, especially for the price tag. I find that they have a very neutral, balanced, and cohesive sound signature. The bass is very well extended. You can get some really good details, very good extension into the sub bass. You get a little bit of rumble, a little bit of grumble down there when it is in the mix, but the bass lacks authority and it lacks impact. It has note weight, it has density, it has tone, it has timbre, and it has details, and it resolves it all very well. But it just doesn't do it in a very authoritative way. You get all the information, you hear it all, you feel it, you get the, it's there, but you don't get the soul, you don't get the energy, the get up and go motions with the bass. It's just kind of there, does its job, and does it very well. I like that. It has extremely good quality. Overall, though, the quantity, it's like, can I get just a little bit of soul? The mids. The mids are very, very balanced, very cohesive. They have very nice tone and timbre. It's very natural sounding, and it has a very realisticness to it. I find that things sound lifelike, especially instruments and vocalists. You get very good depth within the mids. All the instruments are placed very well, very good separation. Everything sounds lifelike. But just like the bass, it lacks that emotional connection. All of the information's there. It's doing everything properly. Except for you just... Can I get a little smile on the face? Can I get a little toe tap? It's just, it's neutral, it's natural, but it lacks that soul. Going into the treble is nicely extended, has very good control. You have just enough of peaks to be able to show you all the information and do it in a realistic way with the proper tone, the proper timbre, the correct amounts of detail and resolution without sounding unnatural and without sounding artificial. It sounds correct. It sounds lifelike. It sounds realistic. But again, it just lacks that little bit of soul. So through the bass, the mids, and the treble, everything sounds correct. It sounds exactly how it should. You have all the tonality and the balance, the cohesion, the realism, the tone, the timbre, the details, the resolution, it's all there. It's all fantastic. You just miss a little bit of that get up and go-ness, that little bit of authority. That I love the sound of it. I just wish that it had a little, to it. Soundstage. Okay. This is super good soundstage. Incredible soundstage. Nice and wide, but within a realistic wideness. And it takes the venue and puts you into place. So if it's a small, intimate jazz club, you get the impression that you're in a small, intimate jazz club. If you're in a big stadium setting or a music hall or orchestra presentation, you feel like you're right there. You feel into place. Big, small, medium, it puts me there. You get good depth and layering. On the stage, you can diagnose it. If it's left, if it's right, if it's left center, right center, layered 3, 4, 5 back on top of each other, or things moving around. It's a very good stage, and it portrays it very realistically. Imaging is spectacular, and it's very spot on with its placement. You can hone in and go, it's right there. That's third row, fifth seat. That's left side with something directly in front of it and something directly behind it, and you can separate between all of them. It's a very, very good soundstage. I really enjoyed the soundstage of it. Details is exceptional. It does a really good job with details and resolution, and I'm telling you, the Titan S is special. It just does things the way it should, and it sounds proper, but it just lacks a little bit of soul. This thing is a workhorse. The Titan S is a spectacular monitor, but I think if you're going to try to use it as an everyday carry, you may find it to be just slightly boring. You're going to find it does everything technically correct. It does everything accurate. But it just doesn't have soul. I like it. I really do. I like this thing a whole lot. But some may not. Comparing it to the Katori Dauntless. The Katori Dauntless is more elevated in the upper mids and in the treble, and it has a little bit brighter of a signature. Detail, retrieval, and resolution are about the same. Tone and timbres, dead on accurate. But the Katori adds in a little bit of soul, a little bit of energy. It has a slight boost in the bass, and it has that little bit of elevation in the upper mids and treble. And so it just sounds a little bit more alive. It sounds a little bit more energetic, even though it's still controlled and very accurate. The Katori may be a little bit more pleasing for some, but then others that are a little bit more sensitive to upper mids and lower treble elevation may find that the Titan S is the one that they prefer. Both are solid for monitors. TINHIFI T3 Plus. T3 Plus is the more fun version of both of those. And it has way more bass, a lot more impact, a lot more just get up and go-ness to the overall sound signature. It does have a little bit more elevation in the upper mids and in the treble. But overall, I think that the TINHIFI T3 Plus is the more fun sounding IEM, whereas the Titan S is the more workhorse, going to be the better monitor, the more accurate. And then you have the Katori, which is also the same way, with a little bit more of a tipped elevation in the uppers. I really like the Titan S. I highly recommend it, and this is by far my favorite Dunu that I've heard, and this is a very, very good option if you're looking for a monitor and as an everyday carry if you like a more neutral, balanced, and cohesive sound signature. Sub $100, you can't go wrong with the Titan S in my opinion. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on screen, subscription links, notification bells, all kinds of other good stuff down below in the description. And also, don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video. And check out all the information in the description. There's tier lists and how you can connect with the channel, follow the channel, support the channel, all kinds of things down below. Check out those links. And don't forget to enjoy the music, and honesty is the best policy.